Awesome. Welcome to the MongoDB Twitch stream. This is another show and tell we're doing this week, and I'm joined by the wonderful Lyn Scott Jr. All the way from San Diego, which is amazing. I was just talking to Lyn about how jealous I was of the tacos down there, and I might get a taco for lunch today. But Lyn, I'll give a quick introduction to you, and then. But Lyn is a software engineer. He works for a Edtech company out in San Diego. And he's been working on this amazing app, which I'm like in love with. It's called TruFit, which we're going to talk about in just a second. Yeah, and Lyn, what languages do you typically use in your day-to-day job?
Day-to-day job, heavy JavaScript, some Python. JavaScript, Python.
Those are good ones. Those are really great ones. Let's see here. Looks like, and you've been programming for a long time, which is awesome. Oh, lots of echo. I'm getting lots of echo. Otto, thank you. Give me one sec here, Lyn. I'm gonna just tweak a setting here really fast. I did a test on this. Otto, thank you so much, man. I've been having problems with the Skype thing, like echoing, kind of weird. La 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 la. Filters. But let's see here. We're gonna try that out. Otherwise, let's see what happens here. Oh,
Is the string?
There we go. Oh, I know what the problem is. It was me. It was me again. Okay. Nope. You're good. You're good. I screwed up my OBS settings again. So good at this. Okay. Yeah. Lyn, can you tell us about this TruFit app you've been working on? I just what is it? Like, give a high level. What is it? And like, what made you think to start working on this thing?
Yeah, so I've been into fitness like my whole life and always liked it. And like, I think, yeah, there was a time when I was like doing personal training and it was at like a big gym and the prices were really crazy, but like I had people that I knew who were like, hey, like I wanna, like, can you train me at your gym? And the prices were just, they were not affordable to like everyday people.
Totally.
So I was like it shouldn't be like, there should be something like some app where people can just have good collective information that does for free, hopefully.
Yes.
So I don't know. It was just an idea of just like starting to try to make something like that.
I love that because it's like your intersection of these two things that you're passionate about, like programming and fitness, and like trying to like make that available to everyone. I love that. That's amazing. Also, we haven't even dug into the app yet, but like, Lyn, I'm obsessed with this logo. It just looks so good. This looks so good. Did you make this? Did you like hire someone to do? How did you get this? It looks incredible.
So a friend of mine, he is also into fitness, and like I collaborate with him a lot on like the fitness ideas. Like we after I started building it out a lot, we partnered up to like try to make it the most official, I guess, as far as like best fitness practices for people. It would be kind of like if you had a health app and you partnered with a doctor.
Yes.
So this was actually like a logo that he like had laying around.
Laying around.
Yeah, let's use that.
He got this and just like put it in his closet.
Right.
What? That's wild. Well, that's great. That's a win-win for you. I think that's amazing. And also, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, like, the stereotype of engineers too is that we're Mountain Dew chugging, basement dwelling, zero fitness nerds. And I love it too. It's like, I mean, you're showing this like whole spectrum, right? Like, you can have all of the above, right? Like you can be into fitness and program. It doesn't matter. I love that. No, that's so cool, dude. Also, can I compliment you too for like making this free? You know what I mean?
That was the whole thing of like, looking at it and looking at how the entry. Well, that was the first thing. We're looking at like what's the entry to people like being able to look at fitness and like get their information and the quality of information.
Yeah.
It was like free information usually sucks,
Yes.
sadly.
Yeah.
But the information that is great is like really expensive. So it's
Yes.
like, why can't we have free good information?
I want to pay $50 subscription fee every month for like a yoga app. Like, not really. No, and like I don't think there's anything wrong with charging, but I feel like in like especially in tech, I feel like there's this huge pressure that we have to like commoditize and like monetize every one of our side projects, which I feel like blows for us.
Yeah.
Like, what if I just want to share this information, or I like it, or I care, I want to get more people into it. Like, not everything has to be like a side hustle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. And you totally could monetize this because this looks legit. It's super cool, and I can't wait to like start jumping into actual like, what this app is. We're just on the landing. We're not even below the fold yet on this landing page. We're not even there yet. We're gonna be jumping in here. Let's see here. I feel like I glossed over your career here. I don't know. Do you want to talk about your career journey a little bit before we jump into? I'd love to hear more about like how you got into programming. I don't know. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah. So,
where do we start? I don't even know. Where do we start?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Where do I even start?
Let's start like I don't know. What was your first programming job, and how'd you get it?
That's a good start. My first programming job was working for free as an intern for a straight company called ClassCalc.
ClassCalc? Is that like an EDU tech kind of thing, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they are a company that's trying to make like scientific calculators for students to use kind of like for free. But teachers have like complete access. So like you would download their app and then open the calculator on your phone, but the professor or lecturer can like lock down like your access and like sandbox you into the calculator.
Interesting. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I feel like the TI-86s need a little bit of competition. I feel like they haven't been updated in 40 years. That's probably good. I feel like it's the tech market that can be disrupted already. No, that's pretty cool. So how did you get hired there? What was that process like?
So I went on AngelList and just looked at jobs. I mean, I was just looking to get experience, and they were just looking for interns. So
love it.
Like, hey, I know like a little bit of JavaScript, so
it sounds like it was enough. It was enough to get in.
Yeah, just enough.
How was the experience there? Was it a good one? Did you learn anything?
It was interesting because it was my first programming job, but it was also remote. And my first remote job. So
yeah,
it was just like lots of new things.
But
it was good.
That sounds hard though. Like a remote internship actually sounds pretty challenging to me. Like, what was it like not having support from a team? You know what I mean? How was that? That work? I feel like a lot of interns are experiencing that now. MongoDB, we're doing remote internships right now.
It was challenging because there would be times where it was like I have no idea how to figure this out, and I would have to like Google the hell out of something,
right?
Stack Overflow out of something. But I think it was good. I think they knew the scope of like what they wanted done, so they kept it simple enough, and that helps me a lot.
That's awesome. No, that's great. I feel like a lot of companies, especially startups, really suck at supporting interns, and I feel like a remote internship at a startup would be just like a terrible environment. I don't know. I interned in college too, and like I'm not gonna say what company it was, but it was I had a terrible experience with it. It was awful. They did not know how to do it. Funny story too. 2 of the interns got in a fist fight over a Red Bull in the fridge, and they got fired that day. And then they brought all us interns into a conference room, and they had to explain to us how you don't solve problems by getting in fist fights in the office. And we're like, we know. Yeah, great experience. Okay, cool.
Red Bull.
A single Red Bull. I think it was like the straw that broke the camel's back kind of thing, but like
Oh, okay.
Someone stole a Red Bull from the other guy, and like it just exploded. Hilarious.
That was it.
So it was it. It was over then. Um, okay, let's see here. Let's jump in your app. Can you give me like a tour of what what TruFit is? Yeah, just show me. Give me a demo here.
Yeah. So like everything is not complete.
It's a work in progress,
still,
everyone. No judgments, okay?
So I put this button here to kind of test out what would be the functionality after you sign up for free.
Great.
But ideally, you'd sign up for free. Here we'd have like some top scores thing.
Oh,
Right
Tiger
now,
King's on this app. Impressive.
Yeah, he's in first place. He's really killing it. And then just had like some little like what it is.
This is a very sweet little landing page too. I like it.
Yeah, try to keep it simple and just explain enough. But yeah, this button won't be here. But when you do want to do something, it's supposed to like open up things.
Cool. And HIIT, it stands for high intensity interval training, right?
Yes. So I guess I should rewind to what.
Assume we're all fitness noobs here.
So the idea for this part of the app came about during peak COVID, when it's like can't do anything or be like fit really.
Yep.
And it was like, well, what if like you could have some type of just like to gamify fitness and like make people move. And that's where I was like, well, like maybe I could have some type of score and generator and use machine learning to like track movements and like kind of tally like a Tybo class, but not Tybo because I don't know machine learning well enough to track Tybo moves.
Love it. So I'm gonna start a workout. Ready to go. Get my spandex pants on.
Yeah, you'd be like, boom, hit this generator, and then
it like makes a random high intensity interval workout for me, or kind of like partially random maybe. How does that work?
Well, sometimes it crashes. Oh, I think my camera is being used right now, so this is trying to access.
That's right. We could turn your camera off on the stream too if you wanna, if you need to get that back.
I wonder if I just did it here. Then wait, then you can't. Can you still see my screen? Okay. All right. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, now it looks like it's working.
I see a spinner. That's a good sign. Great.
So this will like go through and generate movements and like put back up. It should be able to like track. Yeah.
So walk us through this. Is this using like facial tracking? Is this using machine learning, or is this just using like how does this work?
So this is using machine learning pose estimation. TensorFlow JS has like a really cool, basically out of the box pose estimation library, and that's what I'm using to do the skeletal tracking. So ideally, like I would be like standing up somewhere, doing some squats. It would be counting my reps and then tallying up a score.
Oh, so it would do it like automatically. So if I do 10 push-ups, I don't have to enter 10 into the app. It just will do it.
Right. It'll automatically keep track, and then when this timer runs out, it'll like pause and then give you something else to do.
Oh, interesting.
And you do that.
I love that. And so, with the machine learning, do you have to like train the models that like what a push-up is and what a squat is, or what like how does that work?
Yeah, that's been the hardest part. That's what it's like taking the most time. So I'll get out of this. And this, so this was all supposed to like calculate score. I mean, we can look at that later in the code. But super cool thing. Teachable machine with Google is what I use on to like train the model. And it was like super easy. So if I open,
Wait, can I get you to share your webcam again on Skype again?
Yeah.
And actually, you see like my like little streaming box in the upper right hand corner of the screen? Do you think you could like drag that off screen or something?
Drag your this thing.
Yeah, I don't know if you could just like drag it to the bottom, or I think if you maybe if you hit that X, it might go away without ending it. I don't know, or just drag it off screen is probably safe. Yeah, close. I think I think that's really okay.
Ready? Right.
I forget if it's gonna. We're good. Okay, perfect. Great.
All right.
Okay, cool. So you're showing us right now the machine learning model that you used, and this is a TensorFlow thing. Is that right?
Yes.
Interesting.
So,
I didn't know they had like a GUI, like a online GUI you could use to train models. That's pretty slick.
right. Super cool. And I only discovered this after struggling to at first I took a baseline model and then just tried to map exercises around that. So say the output that you get from the machine learning model will give you like an estimate of where each location is that they have. So like wrist, elbow, shoulder, and then with that you can like put that into something and make a joint. And so then I tried to use that to like figure out exercises.
Weird.
So, okay, jumping jack, or if the arm is here and this, if your hand is here and your legs are here, then you're doing a squat.
Are you training that with
That
like
was
your own videos, or like are you just estimating like if someone's in this position, they're probably doing a jumping jack?
So yeah, that's what I was doing at first, training it with my own, trying to like estimate positions and then figure out what people are
Right.
doing, and that was really really hard and didn't work so well.
Why? Why is that?
Because it was like I don't think it was precise enough, so it wouldn't capture quite right like what was happening.
Yeah.
Sometimes it would skip. I just don't think it was precise enough to the body to figure out like, oh yep, that's a squat or that's a jumping jack, or maybe it made it more difficult for me to like try to tune my parameters.
Interesting. Or maybe like I know you have to have like humongous sample sizes to like get really accurate photo recognition too. Like it looks like you have like 120, which is still like a lot, right? But like maybe you need 15,000 or something. I don't know.
So this is what I was doing after that, and this is a bunch of like you said, just a bunch of like rips and videos of me like jumping around in my living room, like doing some exercises, and then labeling them, and then it trains a model. But I was like, I saw this, I was like, wow, this is super like intuitive and easy, and you can really kind of get started quickly as far as trying to proof of concept. Like maybe you want to learn about machine learning and like build some model from scratch or something, but you can at least start here instead of like going down a super like rabbit hole.
Oh, totally.
And then like that doesn't
Can I tell you my journey with machine learning? Like I started learning machine learning a couple years ago, and I jumped in with linear algebra, which is like I haven't studied since it was awful. I had a terrible experience. It was super hard. I really wish that I wish there was a GUI like this to make it easier to. I don't know. I love this. I think this is so great. And like if you can get like a model sit down, and then like maybe someday you can start learning like the advanced math behind the scenes that's actually doing the training. But like you're right, just getting it up and running. This is so easy. I love this.
So I was super.
And actually, Wayne is asking in the chat: is Teachable Machine Learning the site you're on? Is this free or is this a paid site that you're on?
No, this is free. This is super free, and it connects to like your Google Drive if you have a Google Drive, so you can like save your whole project.
Oh, interesting.
There.
And your photos and videos and whatever. Interesting.
It can save it all there, and then it will give you preview export model. So it gives you like a link to your model, so that you can easily. And I guess I'll show this. In the photo.
This is so slick too. I love that it's just straight up JavaScript too.
Yeah, just straight up.
I think a lot of people don't think of JavaScript, and I think machine learning. And I'm sure like behind the scenes the models are not built using JavaScript, but like you can use it in a JavaScript app.
Right, right, and that's exactly like I was started looking at this in like 2018,
Yep.
probably. Yeah, and everyone was like, still no one was taking. I still don't even know if they are taking machine learning in the browser like that seriously. But I was like, this is
Oh,
cool.
totally. Yeah. Well, and the problem too, like JavaScript has that single-threaded event loop, so like it's just like it's not good for handling these truly massive code bases. That's why like things like Python is used a lot more because it's multi-threading, but and the browser sucks at doing this like hardcore math computing. It's not designed for it. It probably can do it. It just may take 400 years to run it.
Right.
No, but that's super cool though. I love that.
They are getting a lot better at that. I don't want to like tangent, but
yeah.
One of the things I was like trying to figure out is how to optimize the performance, and they have like maximum performance, which that's not recommended.
Oh, weird. So like the browser can use like the GPU to like.
Yes.
Oh, I missed that. I didn't know the browser could do that.
Yeah, there is a right now it can run through WebGL, but very soon there will be like a native API for your browser to connect to your GPU on your machine if you have one, so that it'll run that model straight through your hardware GPU. And I've like been testing it out with like experimental versions of Chrome, and the performance was like spot on. I was like, this is
wow, that's awesome. No, I had no idea you could do that. And I should have figured like WebGL. So if people don't know, WebGL allows you to like write web apps using languages besides JavaScript. You could write like a Rust or C++ app, and I'm sure like those languages can connect to GPU, no problem. That makes sense. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
cool.
I was super excited about that, and there's an API. People can look into it. It'll be out sometime eventually.
Yeah, I love that. That. So is this? Are you showing us the model that's being used on your site right now, TruFit?
Yes and no. So this isn't used on the site right now. This is still just in like my development build.
Okay.
But yeah, there's no access to this part on the site right
now. Oh, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Let's see here. Is there anything else you want to show us on the app before we jump into the code?
Wait. So that
is there anything else you want to show us on the app before we jump into your code?
Yes, maybe. Let me see if I remember how to log in to this thing.
Password 1, 2, 3. Admin.
It just might.
Lyn! It's a development build. It's fine. It is. It's fine. It's fine.
That might be it.
Ooh, we love error pages on the Twitch stream.
Oh god. What's happening?
Doesn't work. That's okay. Hey, no stress. It's fine, guys. We all know the build always breaks when you're giving a demo. That's the rule. There's a rule for that.
And I've been like using it a lot for. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Whatever. I'll skip that for now. There's another part of the app that I haven't been developing on, so it's probably it just hates me right now.
Oh, that's fine. You want to tell us what you wanted to show us? Just like verbally walk us through it instead.
Yeah, so it was just more of like kind of I guess preview of that, just information logging, and try to like help you be able to log fitness if you like weren't using that, or like maybe you want to track your calories, some stuff like that, just like a meal logger.
Oh, gotcha. No, that's awesome. That's great. I love that. Yeah, no, that's amazing. Okay, let's see here. Let's jump into the code. I want to see that code, that sweet, sweet code. So I want to see the two parts I'm particularly interested in are like just like the app in general, like the shell of it, because it looks like it's a JavaScript web app. And then I'd love to jump a little bit into the machine learning code a little bit if you can show us that too. But this is just want to walk. It looks like a React app. Is that right? What's the stack you're using?
Yes. So the stack I'm using is React and Node.
I've heard of both of those. Big fans. Big fans. Hey, what's the database you're using?
Oh, surprise, surprise. Database is MongoDB.
Oh, that's the best. Yeah, love that. Best database on the market today. And you were telling me too, it's actually on MLabs currently. Is that right?
Yeah, super, super cool service. I was like, before this was like pre me figuring out or knowing like a lot about AWS, and I was like, whoa, what's this MLab thing? What? You can just host this database in the cloud and super easy to get started. I was like, this
Oh,
is
totally. I know. I love MLabs. Don't tell anyone. You can tell MLabs. You can tell MLabs. No, they're great. Yeah, that's amazing. I want to jump into the schema a little bit later, but let's start with the shell, and then we can jump into it later. But so it sounds like you're using Node, React on the front end, and then MLabs MongoDB database on the back end, right? Cool.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see here. I don't know. Did you do all the CSS yourself too, or let's see? Am I seeing CSS in JavaScript? The styles? Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Hostnet. Okay. So, and you're using Sass. Love it. I'm a Sass man.
So yeah,
Material
I use,
UI.
Sass and mix in some of Material UI.
Oh, I love Material. Yeah.
Yeah, it just was quick, and like all the stuff, like I just try to get going as quickly as possible.
Love it. Yep.
So like I just grab like Material UI.
Yep.
This, so I don't spend hours doing something.
100%. Yep. Totally. Prototype it. Get it out. Ship it. Lean, baby.
Yeah.
Let's get it out.
Exactly.
Yep. Love it.
So which parts did you say? You said,
I don't know.
like,
is there any cool parts about the show us the nav maybe? I'm just curious, like, because it looks like it's just a simple shell, maybe, and you're connecting to the thing, and then maybe you're injecting this, like, I don't know. And then I'm also curious, how are you connecting like the machine learning component to the app? I don't know how that works. Just walk. Let's start with that. I'm curious, like, how are you connecting the video to the machine learning aspects? Like, how is that all integrated into this app?
Yeah. So if you look at Teachable, and hold on, my headphones are bugging me that they need juice. So let me.
Yeah. I'll just do a song and dance for everyone while you're. Oh, he's back. Okay, great.
We're back. Yeah. So yeah, the Teachable machine, they have something already that's like almost like you can almost copy paste it, but I found out about that after I already set my stuff up, so I didn't use their stuff. If anyone gets confused.
Hot tip. Ooh, I'm seeing some mathy stuff there. Harry.
Yeah, don't worry. So yeah, the initial thing is using the navigator, which I learned about, and lets you connect the media devices, grab the user media, and I kind of wrap this into a function called the
Smart,
camera.
love it, easy to read.
Yeah, and just getting the stream, simple stuff there. And so I was experimenting with making hooks.
Yeah,
like that was like the hardest part of trying to when I refactored all of this, as you can see, 23 days ago-ish. I was trying to figure out how to make it kind of as streamlined as possible as far as like the separate pieces of PostNet and then the workout tracking, but make them just work together kind of like as a seamless thing.
Yep, absolutely.
So
no, I love that, like componentizing each piece and separating out the concerns out. And it looks like this is just the piece that integrates with your machine learning models. Is that right? Cool.
Yeah. So this is PoseNet, and it takes a workout, which is a different hook that I made, and then this handles all of the machine learning, like initializing and loading the video, loading my own model from Teachable Machine. This handles like the configuration thing, which they have their own configs. And yeah, so I guess how it actually connects is it runs. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what did you actually
I don't
ask?
know. This is good. This is good. So it looks like this thing is doing. It can through the video, and people don't know HTML5. The canvas is kind of this magic piece of DOM, and you can basically do whatever the hell you want in it. It's got its own like unique API for connecting with it, but the canvas here looks like it's what's responsible for displaying the footage from your webcam. And it looks to me that you're converting this into a 2D image, taking like stills from it, and then passing that through to your model to like learn or to like analyze what is in the image. Is that correct?
Yes, the canvas is doing all of the magic, and that is that's just this is almost you can almost copy this from the Teachable Machine code, or if you look up like PoseNet, but everything it always has to do with canvas and piping that through to the model.
Yep. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So I'm just kind of looking at this. It looks like it grabs like you're sending like probably a stream of data or like something. I don't know. It's grabbing the footage from your webcam. You're passing it through your trained model at PoseNet. Okay. So it looks like what's going on here? Is this like responses from PoseNet, kind of figuring out what it is, what it's seeing?
Yeah. So this is like the whole actual pose detection piece. After the model is loaded, you pass it in actually the video. The video is what you actually give it, and it then displays the results onto the canvas. But it's still reading in the raw video frame. But this doesn't have to be like right now. It's the video that I have, but this can be like a stream. This can be many different things.
I love that.
And I have it set on single pose, but it also accepts like multi-pose. But don't look at it.
All right, everyone avert your eyes, please. No, this is awesome. And I just want to say, Extreme Person, thanks for the follow. I love it. If anyone in the chat has any questions for Lyn about his app, be sure to ask. For me, for one, I know nothing about machine learning. I'm learning a ton from Lyn right now, but if anyone wants to get into it or wants to have questions about just React or full stack projects, this is a great person to ask. Okay, so let's see here. I'm curious. So like, yeah, the machine, the what's the word? The model detects a pose. It knows I'm doing a jumping jack. What do you do with that? What happens when that comes back?
So before, I would just get raw poses and say like I would feed raw poses to my workout and then make my workout figure out what I did. But now once I switch to a Teachable Machine, I make the model give me predictions, and it'll kind of like the model will now kind of tell me like, you're most likely doing a squat, or you're most likely doing a jumping jack, and then I can feed that to my workout, and my workout can update it. So that's been like that's helped a lot, I would say.
That's super cool. Does it always give one back, or can it send back like it could be a push up or a squat? You know what I mean? Like, is it like a weak prediction?
It sends back all of these things. So it'll send back a prediction for every single one of these.
5% this, 90% this, 80%. Okay, gotcha.
Right, and one of them will be like 99.
Do you only take ones that are like 98 and higher, and then the rest of them you just like ignore? Is that how you decide which one's actually being done?
Yeah. So I'll try to have it like a threshold. That's like this is what we're doing. But since I have it, it's a little bit easier because I'll have it. Once we look at the workout part, it'll make more sense, I think, as far as how I do the predictions.
Love it. Let's jump into it.
Yeah. So that feeds into the workout. The workout will like take that and make a prediction based on states. Yeah, so it'll feed that the prediction that it made, and then each workout, since I have it set up that it'll do one workout for a specific period of
Yep.
time. The workout knows what it's looking for. So if it's set on like jumping jacks, it knows jumping jacks has a series of state, and then it'll take those predictions and see if that state has, probability like over 95%, and then
And
it'll be like,
a
okay,
state
move to the
is
next
like
state.
different points of the jumping jack, like when I've completed one and when I'm in the middle of one. Is that right?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So there's certain state requirements for like you should start here, you should end here, and that's one. And so it'll check for those states, and then just update accordingly. And
Love
that's been
that. I see. Then you track the total reps. Love it. Yep. What's the score thing? The score multiplier? Are you gamifying workouts?
So I tried to, yeah, gamify. So if I manually define most of these. So trying to gamify and like things that I felt like are harder to do for a sustained period of time. I would try to give them like a higher
Oh, cool.
multiplier.
Yep.
consistency.
Is this very scientific, or did you just like make up numbers that felt right to you?
I just made up numbers that felt right to me.
I ask because I kind of love it. I feel like people feel like this stuff is like kind of magic, but like usually it's just like this just feels right. I'm just gonna try it out. I love that.
Jumping jacks.
That's easy.
Yeah, for sure.
That's an easy one. No, I totally get what you're saying. I totally get it. Yeah, absolutely. I could do like 100 jumping jacks, but one squat, right. Maybe.
Yeah, and once I figured out, I was working my way to burpees, and I was like, yeah, burpees, that's got to be like
yeah. No, that's totally. A burpee's way harder than a jumping jack. I think that's great. No, that's a great idea. I love that. I love that idea.
But yeah, so this is how I map the states, and all of these correlate with a name of whatever thing is in a teachable machine.
Yep, your model.
A teachable machine.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll know some state, and then I can be like, okay, a squat is this state and then that. So if you go to 1, 2, you score.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. I'm curious, anyone else in the chat have any questions about the code or the app or how it connects up? I kind of love it though. Yeah, it's like you're kind of like doing your little algorithm on it. You're like sending all the data from your webcam to your model that you taught in the cloud, yeah, it comes back with some predictions, and you update some stuff with it. Let's hear. I'd love to. Can we jump into the database just for a little bit? I'm curious, what kind of data are you saving in your database?
Yeah. So let's see here. Lots of models.
Love models. It looks so. I'm guessing you're using Mongoose. Is that right?
Cool. Yes. Use Mongoose. And yeah, got lots of models because there was a lot of different things that was going on. Smart. Scores, food logs, plans, workouts, profiles, and
let's see. Can we look at like your let's look at. Can we just look at your user model? I'm just curious what kind of stuff you're saving for. Everyone signs up, you get a user, create it, input it in your database. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't save all of these right now, because some of these things have been like really old. Like it's beta tester.
No worries. Yep.
But yeah, this is the gist.
Yeah, pretty simple. Yeah, I love it. You just got like sign up with some basic information. I love that. No, that's great. And then, ooh, look at that. You got your using bcrypt. Love it. Walk us through why is bcrypt cool?
Yes. Bcrypt is great because you should never store plain text
passwords. Store plain text passwords. Say it louder for the people in the back.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Also, just use bcrypt. Bcrypt is fucking dope. I love it. It's great. Yeah, that's awesome. I use the same thing for whenever I roll my own auth passwords too.
Yeah, it was super, pretty simple to just get it up and running. And like once I got it up and running, I didn't have to touch it anymore.
Stay out of it. Yeah, love it.
That was great. but yeah, it just goes through, encrypts, salt and
Yep.
hash, and then replaces that. Yep.
Yep. Love that. And salts like make it like harder to. It like makes it longer to unencrypt, and the hash like kind of randomize or like generates that like the actual encrypted string. Um,
Yeah. That
yeah, I
one.
love that. That's great. I love that. Cool, cool, cool. How do you join like your user model with your workout log? Like, how do those get combined?
So I use a user
Okay.
profile for
Yep. Great.
that, and that's where I kind of like do these nifty little references to other
Oh, yes. And let's see here.
parts.
Why did you choose to use references instead of embedding that data in the document?
Um, because I kind of looked at it as it'll spread out more, kind of what I can get. Like
Yep.
maybe I want all of these, but maybe I don't. But if I get a user profile, then I'd have to explicitly say I don't want this.
Yes.
If I embed it, if I just embed it all in there,
Yep.
it's always going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, and that's a totally valid reason. Like, if you just see this data, like, you don't want to over fetch data you don't need. That slows down your app, right? So you want to get exactly what you need with it.
Right.
Also, like, it splits it up too. Like, I think, yeah, if you need a piece on its own, I think that's a good reason to split it up. The reason I asked this too is because MongoDB schema design is one of the most complicated parts for a lot of new users. And especially users who are coming from an SQL background. There's a lot of confusion about how you should be splitting things up. And it is confusing about when should I embed and when should I reference something. And I think this is a good use case for referencing a piece, especially if you're going to be using just parts of that. But there's no rules, which is kind of the tricky part.
Yeah.
So it looks like this is the magic collection. Is it kind of glues together all the parts for like the user information, your workout information, your food plans, your logs, right? Everything all together.
Right. And like piggybacking off of what you said, I don't know if this is the magical correct way to do it. I just know this is what I'm used to doing in like SQL,
Yep.
or if I had like a Postgres database or something, I would separate the user from the user profile, and so I just did that here. But
Hey, it looks
don't
great.
know if that's the right way.
There's literally no wrong or right way to do it. Is okay. I'll just give my 2 cents on this. I favor embedding, and then if I have a good reason to separate out, like I need that data, then I'll start referencing it. I feel like because we have a 16 megabyte limit per document, but like I don't think we have any danger of hitting that here. And I do feel like we're coming from this normalization like world with SQL where we just like split everything up. And there's valid reasons to do that, but hey, you can do or not do it or whatever. This looks great. I'm not trying to like this was amazing. I think you did a great job. And honestly, like unless you have performance issues with it, I think it's totally fine, right? Like it's totally fine. I am just gonna post a talk I did on schema design if anyone's curious.
Yes, I'm curious.
It's the most confusing thing for everybody. I get confused about it. It's too confusing. This looks amazing. I love this. I love the glue, and this is like the key piece here that kind of ties together all the data, which I think is great. Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I'm curious too, why did you use a document-based database over a SQL database for this?
It was just my first time using it, and I just wanted to do it as like everything. Like I decided I wanted to use Node in the back end, so then I was like, well then let's just JavaScript everything. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it all.
Yeah, man. No, I totally agree. Yeah. I mean, I may be biased, but I totally agree. I totally agree. Last piece I'm curious about too, Lyn, is deployment. How did you deploy this app? Is it AWS, self-hosted on a Raspberry Pi, Netlify? Where's this living?
I currently living on Heroku, but it probably won't live there for much longer once I figure out what I want to do next.
Oh, totally get that. Yep, absolutely. I totally agree. Like Heroku's just so easy to just deploy an app, but like it's if you're like looking to like massively scale up a project, that gets expensive really fast. But like whatever, get it out the door.
Yeah, they had like a super simple, like it was like get it up quickly, minimal setup. So I was like, all right, yeah, let's just do it.
Lyn, I love your attitude about this project too. I feel like a lot of people are like, wait to deploy it till it's like absolutely perfect, which I hate seeing that because it never goes out. Like, and I love how you've published this as a work in progress, which I think I would encourage more people to do. You should be deploying as early as you possibly can and iterating based on that deployment.
Yeah, it it was tough, and like I did like open, like as you can see, there's a lot of like beta test stuff, and I did like an open beta once, and stuff broke so much, and I was like, why did I deploy this?
That's awesome. Could you talk us through like something that you discovered during the beta testing that you might not have discovered if you hadn't done that? If you remember.
That I should have deployed it earlier.
You listen to that, everyone? Deploy early.
Because one of the things, it was like, you know, you get feedback from people and like you see usage, and it's like something that I think there was something that I was thinking about, like, oh yeah, this is the next feature that I need, and like no one cared about that.
Oh, totally.
So it was like if I would have deployed it earlier, I could figure out like what people want faster.
Yes. Let's say that. I want to say that again because I think that is so important, Lyn. You're saying that you wish you had like deployed it earlier and asked questions because like you had ideas for features that you thought were cool and no one cared about them except for you. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I think that's huge, right? Like, and the only way to know that if it's going to be a feature that people want is to ask, like, or put it out. You know,
put it out there, and then people will be like, hey, it'd be cool if I could have this, or it'd be cool if I could have that.
Yes.
I was like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. I thought you wanted this.
100%. Yeah. I totally agree. I see that all the time, Lyn. People are like, I make this perfect thing, and it's gotta be exactly this, and then they deploy it, and no one cares. They never asked.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Field of Dreams? I've actually never seen it, but like, if you build it, they will come. I feel like a lot of us tech people like think that we just build this app. Right. People just magically flock to it. But the hard part is getting people to use it. Easy part's building it.
Seriously. Yeah.
How have you been getting people to use your app? Are you just like, or the beta testers? Are they friends or family? Or strangers?
Yeah, it was just friends and family. Like I tried not to like super publicize it.
Yeah.
So it's like, still gonna break. So let's just keep this on the down low.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. Please don't run me over the coals on this one. So I'm curious too, like, what are some things that you want to work on, and are you looking for contributors? Is anyone's in the chat who may be interested? But like, what kind of stuff are you working on, or like need to work on next?
So a big thing is like the performance limitations of the machine learning, and just trying to think of like different scenarios. So like, it works wonderfully when connected to a GPU on my computer, but I'm thinking of like, well, people might probably gonna like use it on their cell phone, and that might not have like a very powerful GPU.
Yeah, so they're not known for having great GPUs on phones yet.
Right. Yeah. So it was like, I need to find a way to maybe make this like native, or have a native version that properly uses we'll probably use like TensorFlow Lite, and then get some performance benefits that way.
Oh, totally. Especially if the browser's responsible for doing all that processing on the edge. Yeah, I could totally see that being impactful. Yeah, no, that'd be, and like getting version 1 out there, like cool, whatever, right? Get it out, but like start tuning it up for more devices. I think is huge. I love that. But anyone knows how to do that here, hit Lyn up. And the other Neo, thank you, and best friends, thank you for the follow. Are you looking for contributors right now? Or are you solo project looking for PRs?
I mean, I'm not like old aggressively looking, but if someone's like, "Hey, I wanna join or help," like, hey, by all means, like,
Love it.
that's probably it. It is tough. Like, I don't have a lot of time, as
Who
you can see.
does?
Like, some of my commits are like 23 days ago, and 23 days ago, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna work on this tomorrow, and then I did.
Hey, I'm the same way. It's my green dots or green squares are pretty sporadic on GitHub too. It's always wish we could code more. But anyway, if anyone feels inspired by this too, or is like super passionate about fitness and wants to share that, like, or wants to like learn machine learning, I think this is a great app to jump into. I'm gonna post Lyn's Twitter on the chat again, but you should definitely reach out to him there if you're interested in kind of what's going on here.
Yeah, for sure. Someone asked me about or asked about the Nami curl.
Yes, yes. Oh yes, thank you. Yes, I totally forgot about that. The depth perception he's asking about.
Yeah, so that's why burpees are currently commented out. It's not great at detecting depth at all.
Yeah.
There's a different algorithm that uses phase detection.
Did you say phase or face?
Phase.
Okay. What is that? I've never heard that before.
It's like, I think it translate where you are in color, like as a color code, and then if you move, that's a different color code.
Oh, interesting. So like it changes with the light, right? Like it's going to detect distance maybe or something.
Yeah, I briefly looked at it, but someone made an app kind of similar with phase detection, and I think that would be much better for burpees. Because right now, the TensorFlow is really great at like 2-dimensional exercises, but it does struggle with 3-dimensional things like kicking feet out, and it needs to know, like, it's used to finding a skeleton. So if you don't look like a skeleton,
right?
It'll struggle
perfectly. If I'm like sideways or like at a 3/4 angle or something, it may not detect it correctly.
If you're laying down, it'll just be like, "Where are you?"
Yeah, funny. What about like push-ups? You have to be in a prone position. I can't do like an air push-up.
Yeah, push-ups it definitely struggled with because it was hard figuring out, like, are you a human?
Yeah.
What's going on?
This is either a raccoon or a human being.
What's
inconclusive
here? So, struggled a lot with push-ups.
Yeah,
but great for jumping jacks.
What were like some of the lessons you learned on this project too? Like, what are some of the new skills you picked up?
An interest in like GPU stuff.
Cool.
From just like from the JavaScript perspective, as far as being able to like connect from the browser to a GPU, like I think that's just like that kind of just blew my mind. Like, what?
That's dope. Yeah.
Browser.
I gotta look that up. To be honest, because I've given a couple performance talks on like multi-threading the browser, but I have not messed around with GPU performance. That's super cool. That's dope. I gotta look up and look into that too, because you're blowing my mind right now, Lyn. You blew my mind.
I blew my own mind. I was like, oh, this is amazing. This opens up so many things.
Totally. No, I totally agree. Yeah, especially for like huge intensive stuff. I think in particular GPU thing I think is interesting from like a machine learning model, but also like a gaming model too. Like if I'm doing like we could start running some super intensive experiences in the browser by unlocking the GPU, which I think is a game changer.
Yeah, I agree. I was like, this is huge. Yeah. When can I want it? How do I get it? I need it now.
100% agree. I 100% agree. And I wonder too, what's that Google project where you stream video games to the browser? Stadia. Yeah, that's the one. I don't know. I know it's not like super huge or anything, but I'm wondering if they're using some of the GPU thing to like handle some of that streaming, because I feel like that would be. I mean, that just sounds massively difficult.
That would make sense.
I know nothing about it. I'm just like, you know what I mean? But like thinking about those types of like advanced experiences that before were just impossible without unlocking the GPU.
Right. Yeah. It was an entirely like closed off dimension.
100%.
Now it's just like, yeah, I'm excited to see like what things we'll be able to come up with in the browser.
What does the future unlock for us?
Serious.
No, I love this stuff, but like you're right, this app maybe couldn't exist without that new feature. That's amazing. Yeah. All right, cool. That's awesome. I love this app. I think it's super awesome. I think I got to sign up for it. I don't know. I'm not jacked or anything. I need to got my quarantine bod here.
Pressure's on.
It's so no.
You saying that you want to sign up means I need to push.
Oh
code.
no. Hey, I'll be a beta tester for you. You know what I mean? I'll report bugs in a very friendly way. But I think that's huge. Also, you know what I'm thinking too here, and we're still in quarantine, right? Like I know gyms are like starting to open up, but like I feel like there's been a big push for EDU tech, which I know you do a lot professionally, but also I feel like I haven't seen a lot in the workout tech kind of sector for like massive advancements. I don't know, but I feel like this is like super cool and like more people should do it. I don't know. I think it's awesome.
There's been a couple of companies that have pushed more, but it hasn't been like, it's been partly tech, but it's been like a lot of put this thing in your house.
Right. Yeah. What's that Peloton? Yeah, that's the thing I'm thinking of too. I don't know if they have any machine learning models built into those bikes yet. They should hire you and get that figured out. I'm just thinking here, like I want facial recognition to determine like how sweaty I am and how much I'm breathing while I'm on the bike.
It'll tell you like, oh, you're slacking.
Hey, you're not sweating enough.
Come on.
You're not breathing enough. Maybe that's creepy. I don't know, but I still want it. I still want it. No, that's great. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna do anything else here before we want. Anything I want to show us before we wrap up here today?
So I don't think so.
Nope.
But
totally fine.
If anyone has a question about
any other final questions here? Yep, go for it.
Sounds.
That's
one thing.
What
I first discovered using this app. I was like, let's put some sounds in it. They didn't like come off, but
what do you mean? Like if I click on a button or if I do a workout, there's like a feedback? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Feedback. Like there's like a buzzer and timer feature.
Yes.
And I just used this library, UI effects, and downloaded some sounds from the internet.
Oh, dope. Yeah.
That sounded like game sounds. And
oh yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I know. I
was like, this is cool.
The browser, was it the sound API, the music API? You can do some cool stuff. So you're just having the browser play these effects.
Yeah, and that was like new to me. I was like, whoa, sounds.
That's so cool. That's awesome. Yeah, and what's the library you're using again? You said UFix? I've never heard of that one. UI. That makes more sense. No, I think that's so cool. In the chat, I just posted links to Lyn's LinkedIn if you want to connect with him there, the GitHub for this project, the TruFit website if you want to sign up, and his Twitter too. And correct me if I'm wrong, Lyn, but the best way to get a hold of you is probably on Twitter. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely.
But I guess feel free to connect with them too. Lyn, you can always decline people if you just want them to buzz off too. But especially if you're in San Diego, if anyone's here listening, I think he's a great person to connect with out there. I know the tech scene's pretty tight out there. For one, I miss connecting in person with a lot of the tech people in my local communities, but always good to connect them. Okay, let's see here. I think that's about it. I'm trying to think, do I have anything to plug? We stream here every Friday on MongoDB Twitch at noon Eastern time. If you're not following today, make sure you click that follow button so you get notified every time we go live. And this is a new series we're trying out. We're doing this community show and tells. If you like this, let us know. If you hate it, let us know. If you have a project that you built using MongoDB, let us know. We'd love to have you on the program. Yeah, check out developer.mongodb.com. That's where I do articles and content, and you can catch previous Twitch streams and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think that's about it. I never know how to wrap this up. I need like a catchphrase. Like, what does Ron Burgundy say? Smell you later, San Diego, or whatever.
Stay classy.
Stay classy, San Diego. Oh my God, you should know. That's your news anchor.
Yeah.
San Diego. All right. Well, Lyn, stay on the call here, but we'll say goodbye, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Love y'all. Bye.